You wearing a gold chain?
Oh, right. Yeah, I've had it for a while. I just kind of throw it on every now and then.
None of that is true. I definitely would have noticed.
Okay, listen, I've been working hard. I'm making money for the first time. I was like, I'm gonna sell something nice, you know?
But instead of that, you bought a chain?
You're just jealous I have a salary, quitter.
And you are too legit to quit. Hey, MC, come on.
Actor and comedian Kumail Nanjiani is best known for playing software engineer Dinesh on the HBO comedy Silicon Valley. He also co-wrote and starred in The Big Sick. It is one of the highest-grossing independent movies of the year, with more than $40 million in domestic box office sales. The film is based on the real-life courtship between Nanjiani and his wife, Emily Gordon. It tells what happened when Emily was in a medically induced coma, forcing Kumail to deal with the crisis with her parents. Part of the movie shows him meeting his wife for the first time after a stand-up routine.
My name's Kumail.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we saw you perform.
Now that the niceties are out of the way, I have to tell you that when you yelled at me, it really threw me off, and you really shouldn't heckle comedians. It's so rude.
I didn't heckle you. I just woohooed you. It was supportive.
Okay, that's a common misconception. Yelling anything at a comedian is considered heckling. Heckling doesn't have to be negative.
So if I yelled out like, "You're amazing in bed," that'd be a heckle?
Yeah, it would be an accurate heckle.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good. Actor and comedian Kumail Nanjiani is here with us at the desk. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
So listen, you got this idea. You had this idea of making your relationship into a film, but it really started to take root when you met Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
What was his reaction to the idea?
Well, he basically, we'd hung out at a festival, and he was like, "Oh, I like you. Do you have any movie ideas?" So I went in, I'd prepared all these ideas, like there was an idea I had about a ghost witch. It's a witch, she dies, comes back as a ghost. We don't need to get into the details. But he was like, "Okay, well, do you have any other ideas?" And then I told, I said when my girlfriend and I were first dating, she was in a coma for 8 days, and I hung out with her parents. And he was like, "That's the movie. We got to do that," because his whole thing is about taking real, true, emotional stuff and making it funny. So that's where it started.
Because you wouldn't think that would be funny. Why was she in a coma? What happened?
She was just very tired.
Look what you did to her.
She was like, "Enough of this. Put me in a coma. Take me away." It was like a little, trip to Europe, just 8 days. So it took them a long time to diagnose her. She had this illness. It was a mystery illness, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and her body was kind of shutting down. So they put her in a coma to take stress off her body, to put her on a respirator. And it took 8 days for them to...
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it's called Adult-Onset Still's disease, and it's a very rare disease. It was actually on an episode of House.
Oh,
That was like the
Wow.
crazy diagnosis he had, and everyone was like, "There's no way it's that," but that's what it was.
So then you two worked together on this film, right?
That's
for
right,
3
yeah.
years?
We
And
wrote it
How did
together.
that work for your relationship?
It actually was really great for our relationship. It's, people are like, "Oh my God, how did you survive that?" It actually brought us closer together because we hadn't understood each other's perspectives going through this event. You sort of think like, "Oh, we went through this together." Kind of not really. You have your own, because, when she wakes up in real life, we're really happy. And she's miserable because she doesn't know what happened. She doesn't remember the coma, obviously. So to her, she's like, "I was okay," and suddenly I'm hooked up to all these wires. And for us, it was like, "Yeah, the worst is over," So it was interesting to go through and really understand our perspectives through this event.
But talk about the perspective of the parents, because I love this movie. I thought it was so simple, yet it was so profound, because your parents, Pakistani parents, did not want you to be with someone who wasn't Pakistani. And then her parents were sort of looking at you like, "Who is this guy?"
Right.
Talk about the perspective of the two parents and how that is today.
Yeah, I mean, so my parents are Pakistanis, and they came here, and I completely understand. They wanted me to marry someone within the community because, you want to protect your identity. And when you're in America, anytime you're in a different country that doesn't really value the culture you're from, it's always a struggle to hold on to it, right? To hold on to who you are.
Yeah.
So that's what they wanted, and it was difficult for them, but now they really love Emily and everything. They went and saw this movie many times. I would see on Twitter, I would see people being like, after the movie, this couple came up to me and was like, did you like the movie? That was our son.
What about her parents?
Oh, her parents are
Did they
all...
like you right away?
They, you know, we were going through a very difficult situation. So it was kind of that thing in the beginning where it's like, it doesn't even matter whether we like each other or not. We're just trying to get through
Get Emily
this thing.
safe, yeah.
But in going through this really intense couple weeks together, we really bonded because you're sort of going through something that only you're the only three people that can understand it, you know? Yeah.
You know, one of the clips we showed earlier, too, is joking about how Muslims are portrayed in the media. And I know in a recent interview you talked about that.
Yeah, I think, you know, we don't really have many different conceptions of Muslims in American pop culture. You see them as, you know, in movies, they're always, or TV shows, they're always planning something. So
Something bad.
yeah, there's something is being planned. So Emily actually had this idea. There's a scene in this movie where where my parents speak in Urdu. That's our language. And she was like, I just want to see a family speaking in Urdu and have it not be like some sort of plan they're coming up with.
Something sinister, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a scene in the movie where my family speaks in Urdu, and it's just they're speaking in Urdu because that's what they speak. We just, I think, need in this country, just need to spread the idea that Muslims can be all kinds of
That's right.
people, you know. Emily has
Not
this
paint with
idea.
the same brush. How long have you and Emily been together?
The movie actually came out, we didn't plan this, but it came out on our 10th wedding anniversary, and that was just a coincidence. Yeah.
I hope award
So
season
nice to
brings
meet
you
you.
something, Kumail, because it's really great. I hope so. Kumail Nanjiani, if you haven't seen the movie The Big Sick, it's available right now on Amazon Prime Video. You can get it very easily.